Commanding Officer of Strike Fighter Squadron 106. I'm proud to present the A-18C Hornet flight demonstration for 2010. The A-18 is a frontline combat aircraft that deploys from the decks of U.S. aircraft carriers worldwide. The Hornet is a versatile, multi-role aircraft that was designed to excel in both the fighter and the strike missions. Today's flight demonstration is flown by Lieutenant Brent Jaquith, call sign Bob, from Proctor, Vermont. A 2001 graduate of the United States Naval Academy, Lieutenant Jaquith will maneuver his aircraft under G-forces ranging from -1 to 8 times normal and fly at airspeeds from 110 miles per hour to 650 miles per hour. All of the maneuvers you will see here today demonstrate the Hornet's capabilities in the tactical arena and are employed every day during combat and training flights. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention to the left, where you will now hear the Hornet's two General Electric F404 turbofan engines spooling up to their maximum power, producing over 36,000 pounds of thrust from Naval Air Station, Oceana, Virginia. VFA 106, known as the Gladiators. He's on the roll. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your airplane, and Brent Jaquith is very pleased to show off the United States Navy's and your F-A-18 Hornet! To 8 times the force of gravity. May I direct your attention to the right, where the F-A-18 is accelerating to nearly the speed of sound. You'll notice that the sound of the aircraft will not reach us until the aircraft reaches show center, indicating the very, very high approach speed. You can see him off to the right at only about 500 feet above the ground. The world is moving by really fast for Bob Jaquith right now. Call sign Bob, Lieutenant Brent Jaquith. This is the Hornet's high-speed patch. We might get some good vapors on this one as well. Leading off, he rolled the airplane on his back. He's set up on the runway visually, and he's going to perform a double Immelman. This is a World War I evasive maneuver. Invented by German ace Max Immelman. This will demonstrate the Hornet's incredible thrust-to-weight ratio. With 2 Immelmans at 6,000 feet. He completed 2 carrier deployments, and he has since accrued over 1,500 flight hours, more than 250 carrier resistant landings aboard aircraft carriers, and has flown numerous combat missions and supported operations Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom. Following his tour with VFA 34, Lieutenant Jaquith received orders to attend the Navy's Fighter Weapons School's Tactics Instructors course, also known as Top Gun. He now serves as an instructor pilot with the East Coast Hornet Demo Training Squadron of VFA 106 in Oceana, Virginia. Qualified to instruct in both the Hornet you see here today as well as the Navy's newest strike fighter, the A-18C model Super Hornet. He's going to demonstrate now the minimum radius turn. As he reaches show center, he'll throw the stick to the left, 90 degrees of bank, yank the stick back to his lap, and do the minimum radius turn with a 7G pilot. Now, one unique characteristic that all Navy aircraft must possess is the ability to land on an aircraft carrier at sea with a moving and sometimes pitching flight deck. Navy and Marine Corps pilots are trained to hit the landing area with pinpoint accuracy in what is not so much of a landing as it is a controlled crash. He'll approach at 175 miles per hour and fly a descending turn to a 3/4 mile final approach point. This speed allows only about 15 seconds to precisely adjust the flight path in order to touch down in an area not much larger than your driveway. Notice that as the Hornet approaches, the landing gear will be down and the tail hook will be extended. It is the tail hook that allows the F-A-18 to land and stop in under 400 feet, with that tail hook catching one of 4 steel cables that are stretched across the deck of the carrier. This is the Hornet's carrier configuration pass. Once he gets past show center, he's going to demonstrate the maneuverability and superior thrust-to-weight ratio of the F-18 by doing a 1/2 pivoting maneuver. You can see the tail hook down. As he reaches show center, performing a repositioning maneuver to align his aircraft with the show line. He'll reach show center at just over 300 miles per hour and demonstrate the superb nose authority and the ability of the Hornet to point at an adversary aircraft. In a very short space, you'll see the Hornet change direction from a horizontal flight path to straight up. It is this ability, combined with an awesome arsenal of air-to-air weapons, that makes the Hornet a world-class fighter that is feared worldwide. This is the pitch rate demo. It'll take only about 2 seconds from him to be facing flying horizontal to flying vertical. He will experience some significant G's, about 7 times his normal body weight for the 2 seconds as he pulls up. Here comes the pitch rate demo, Lieutenant Brent Jaquith. For his next maneuver, Lieutenant Jaquith will demonstrate the technique used by every Navy and Marine Corps pilot to slow his or her aircraft and prepare it for landing. He'll approach at 500 feet from the left and perform an overhead brake, which will result in a decelerating 360-degree turn. This is the kind of approach that is made by all Navy and Marine Corps pilots as they approach the deck of a carrier. They come through fast and get lined up. They have to be very precise because during carrier operations, aircraft are landing every 45 seconds on that small deck of the carrier. As he approaches, I want you to listen for the precise power changes that he uses as he guides his aircraft toward the landing spot on the runway. Tell you what, that is not what he's going to do now. This is the slow speed pass. My apologies. Watch the nose to come up. This is the high alpha or high angle of attack pass. This is an amazing demonstration of the dual digital flight controls on the A-18 Hornet. Now we're going to go live to the cockpit and see how he's doing. Hey Bob, how you doing, buddy? Good morning, Ron. How's the weather down there? Weather is good. You're looking good. Tell us how slow you're going. We're working about 111 knots in the half shirt. 30 hours. With the Airshow smoke let be used, that looked like a figure 8 lying on its side. He was also training the Cuban Air Force pilots to fly aerobatics at the time in 1936, and they asked him what the maneuver was after he landed, and he said, Ocho Cubano, Cuban 8, and the name has stuck for all these 74 years. Now, this time we've got the carrier brake coming. Again, approaching at 500 feet. Very, very rapidly will reach show center, throw the stick over to the left, pull the stick back into his lap, and go into that decelerating 360-degree turn. That is awesome. Lots of vapor on that. Now, he will now lower the flap. That's the call. He's going to do a touch and go. He's lowering the gear at flaps. He's just told the air boss what he's going to do. And what we'll do now is listen for these precise power changes that he's going to use to expertly guide the airplane to a pinpoint landing. Now, in any carrier operation, when a carrier-borne aircraft touches down, the pilot assumes that the tail hook is not going to catch one of those 4 wires, so he or she shoves the throttle forward whether they catch a wire or not. That will give the pilot enough power to go around should there be an issue, a problem. Now let's listen carefully. We might be able to hear these power changes as he comes into land. He's there about a mile out right now. On every Marine Corps or Navy landing area on a runway, there is painted the landing area of an aircraft carrier in every landing grade. Let's listen. Half a mile. 140 miles an hour. Touch and go, bolter, 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 and there's the power to go around. going to get a chance to take a great picture of the Hornet. Lieutenant Jaquith is going to swing around to the right. And run behind the crowd and make an arcing pass from the right to the left. This design has proved to be so good for the United States Navy that when they were looking for a replacement for the Navy's aging F-14 Tomcat fighters that had served for over 30 years with the United States Navy, they needed to look no farther than the FA-18 for a design that would be good enough to replace the Tomcats. And in 1998, they introduced the FA-18E and F model Super Hornets. But here, from the right, from VFA 106 at Naval Air Station, Oceana, Virginia, the photo by Aircraft Lieutenant Lieutenant Brent Jaquith.
I got it. I took a button there before pass.
No, but I went
Many
I was
years
like right
ago,
there, and I'm like,
back in the early 1970s, the Air Force was looking for a new lightweight fighter. And there were two airplanes that were in competition to get that contract with the United States Air Force. One of which was the United States, was the then General Dynamics YF-16. The other was the Northrop YF-17. The YF-16 won the competition and became the F-16 Fighting Falcon, the aircraft flown by the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. The loser, the Northrop YF-17, was destined to go down in history. The fact that it has 2 inches, that's good insurance. And they got together then with McDonnell Douglas, and they said, let's look at this design. They loved McDonnell Douglas because they built the F-4 Phantom for the United States Navy as well as the Air Force. And McDonnell Douglas then beefed up the landing gear and took that basic Northrop design and turned it into the airplane that you see here today, the FA-18 Hornet. So the loser has become a huge winner for the United States Navy and Marine Corps. And today, the Gladiators at VFA 106 at Naval Air Station, Oceana, Virginia. It's the FA-18 Hornet. The landing that we're going to see here today is very typical of the kind of landings that they do on an aircraft carrier. The aircraft doesn't flare like we would normally flare a civilian plane or an airliner or even an Air Force aircraft. Because of that moving, pitching flight deck of an aircraft carrier and the need to stop at only about 400 feet and have that tail hook catch one of those 4 wires stretched across the deck. The descent rate of these aircraft coming down on the deck of the carrier is around 600 to 700 feet per minute. It is a bone-crushing kind of landing, and you hit plenty hard. And he'll put it right down for us now. No flare, just flies it right onto the runway. Speed brake comes up in between the 2 tails, and he'll get turned around and he'll taxi right by the crowd. As he's coming in, we want to thank all of our great sponsors on our show today, including Cerrone, Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick. Al Cerrone and his company has been supporting our show for 20 years as the primary auto sponsor. And Al, we thank you for your dedication to the Rhode Island National Guard Open House and Air Show. The FA-18 Super Hornet has 2 different models, a single-seat E model and a 2-seat F model. They more powerful engine generating about 42,000 pounds of thrust. Slightly longer, carries more fuel, has an improved radar as well.